The reason why it's not good for states in Africa to find oil is because they become rent-near states, meaning that instead of depending on their constituency for their taxes to fund the government, to fund the state, they depend on renting out a natural resource like oil. So say you're an African country, you discovered oil 30 years ago, $100 a barrel, $600,000 barrels, 600,000 barrels a month or a day. You're making billions of dollars per day. So your economy is already underdeveloped since being freed by the colonial powers way back when. Your economy, the real economy, is 90% agricultural, and you don't need them. You don't even need, you're not even a part of your economy anymore as the state. As the state, 99% of your business, payroll, funds, activities are financed through the oil. So all you need to do is focus on the oil infrastructure. Make sure you have a modernized oil industry, extract the oil, make deals with countries such as France, America, and other quote-unquote first world countries. First world countries don't care if you're using the oil profits to stash in offshore banking accounts because you're afraid to put it into your own country because a coup d'etat might happen and somebody might steal it. And yeah, first world countries aren't interested in forcing these dictators, these leaders, to use the oil profits in order to fund social development, health development, infrastructure development, physical development of their country. They need oil. America produces more oil than anybody, but we still don't produce enough oil to sustain our own selves. Therefore, we need oil. Any first world country is heavily dependent on oil. So when you need oil for your corporate interests, you don't care if you're funding a dictatorial oil regime, because you need the oil in order to keep your first world economy going. And everybody keeps asking, why is China in Africa? Because they need oil. China is becoming a first world country. They're becoming heavily industrialized. They need oil. They're in Africa for oil. America, we're in Africa getting oil because we don't want to depend on the Arabs because their countries are considered less secure, and we don't think that we can maintain them due to the political pressure. But there's no political pressure in Africa, so we can go to Africa on the low without anybody knowing and getting oil. So, yeah, so the problem with these African countries that find oil is that it's a curse because the state, the leaders, use all of the oil wealth, stash it into overseas bank accounts, and they don't invest any of it into their actual economy. The actual economy is only based on agriculture. And they don't even tax their citizens. Why? Because they don't need their taxes. They're making billions of dollars per day in oil, so they don't even care about their country. All they care about is maintaining the security of the oil fields, maintaining the modernization and infrastructure of the oil fields, and maintaining a pipeline of money flow so that the money can flow out of Africa into France, America, overseas bank accounts. I mean, these African leaders make billions of dollars per day. You think they're interested in socially developing their people? You think they're interested in what their people have to say politically? And the people know this. The people know, hey, we don't even get taxed. Our government isn't even interested in taxing us. Therefore, why should we be concerned about politics? Our government makes billions and billions and billions of dollars per day on oil. So if we start protesting, if we start getting upset, they're going to use the oil profits to create a military to buy highly sophisticated weapons from Israel, America, to kill us. So yeah, all we can do is just pray. So if you want to support Africa, if you want to stop the oil despots, if you want to stop the oil dictatorships, pressure America to stop buying oil from these people. Because if these African dictators, African leaders can't sell their oil, then they can't turn into a rent-near state. And if they're not a rent-near state, then they're going to have to depend on their people for taxes. And if you're going to depend on your people for taxes, 9 times out of 10, you're going to have to show some type of effort. You're going to have to make their lives better in order to make them want to give you their taxes. But as long as you don't depend on your people for taxes, you can do whatever the hell you want. And if you're making billions and billions and billions a day on oil, hey, you don't need your people. You don't need your constituency. You don't need votes. You don't need democracy. And it makes the people in those countries feel like, hey, why should I be concerned about politics? My government is making billions and billions and billions and billions on oil from America, France, Israel, Norway, Denmark, Russia, China, Malaysia. I mean, you guys are supporting my country's dictatorship. So, hey, me, I advise us all to just, write a letter. Let's protest. Whenever you guys get ready to do it, I'm down. But we have to stop America. We have to stop all of these countries that make up the United Nations from buying oil from these dictatorships in Africa, because all it's doing is further deepening the hell. Peace.